tell you what, let's talk about layers. Layers in Adobe Illustrator. All Adobe applications have layers. Photoshop has 8,000. InDesign has layers. Of course, Adobe Illustrator has layers. Layers are like thin pieces of plastic. Each part of your document, or the elements and objects in the Illustrator design, are put on separate layers. Now why? In Photoshop it's more important. In Photoshop, if you don't really have layers, you really can't function. Without layers, you're painting on a two-dimensional canvas. Ink goes on top of ink. In Adobe Illustrator, it is a little bit different because the objects by nature are separate. So you could theoretically have a complex document all put together in one layer and it would still work. You could still manipulate and maneuver information. But to me, it's about the organization. Layers help me organize my projects in Adobe Illustrator. They help me get better at what I do. There are a lot of things that we can do. For example, you can actually turn layers on and off, of course. You can instruct layers not to print. There's a lot of things that you can do, and we want to look at one other panel. The Layers panel has another panel called the Transparency panel, and that's where things like blending modes and opacity are hidden. If you're used to Photoshop, we know where they are. They're in the Layers panel. But in Illustrator, remember, you're not working with layers, you're working with objects. So we'll discuss transparency and blending modes also. And that's what it's about. We're talking about layers and we're talking about Adobe Illustrator. Let's get started.